Hello, my friends. It's me. I mean, who else would it be? And it's time once more for a story. That's right, a tale of some kind. Sent to my subreddit, r/Moonhorse Stories. That's not a shameless plug. Alright, it totally is. This is by Reddit user PhantomFlower08. I have no idea why I said Reddit like that. That was just a thing I did. That was weird. I'm not going to do it anymore. This is Role-Playing with Mr. Kid and Hating It. Well, that's certainly something going on with this one. Alright. Let's get right into this and see what happens. Hello, Moonhorse. Hello. Sango and the Celestial Herd. I hope you're all doing well. I mean, that kind of sound like crap, but I think I'll be alright. I come back to you with another story from the art site we love to cringe at. DeviantArt. Oh, what a din of depravity. Sorry, not much happens to me in real life, so might as well capitalize on my many misadventures online. Fair enough. And I'm going to warn you all, this is the most cringe/disgusting thing that has ever happened to me online. It almost eclipses my encounter with Mr. Roleplay. Oh boy, here we go. So a little background info before we get into the meat of the story. I might ramble, but it's important, I swear. It's just my life motto. I've decided to become a GM for an original Dungeons & Dragons campaign I'm running for my nerdy family. I was pretty excited for game night, and with the short time leading up to it, I was scribbling down lore of the world, creating random encounters, and posting art of player characters, NPCs, and monsters on my DeviantArt page. My personal favorite was the zombie Tarrasque that I was going to throw at my unsuspecting family members on session 0. The point being that I invested every fiber of my being into creating a strange and unique world for everyone to play in. So it was no secret that on DA that I was going through with this. Game night comes around and all is well. At first, my little brother ate something questionable and kept going to the bathroom to vomit. Ow. Mom's new medicine was not only making her sick, but also making her fall asleep at the table, so she had to retire early. By then, only my older brother and my dad remained, and my well-planned, intended, at least 2-hour session was cut down to about 30 minutes. And I was rushing through session 0 to get to the zombie Tarrasque scene. But by then, there was hardly any point. Ouch. I felt bummed out afterwards, being forced to rush through and losing 2 players. I felt even worse when no one wanted to try and pick it back up, due to one reason or another. So my very first and last D&D campaign went up in smoke. I'm not mad at anyone, and I don't blame anyone for the game falling apart, but to invest so much of your time and energy to come up with a new world and pour your soul into it, only for it to fall apart before it even really begins, kind of leaves you with a hollow feeling. Yeah, I fucking totally understand that, dude. That's fucked. I might be a bit too emotional to be this upset over a game, but I can't help it. No, honestly, it's fair. I didn't DM much. I'm planning on doing it soon. Little hint for things to come. But, yeah, I honestly can understand that, like, you put a bunch of work into wanting something to work out a certain way, and then it just kind of falls apart. That can be really frustrating. So, no, I feel you. In the end, I basically went online to vent my melancholy to anyone who would listen. I still drew pictures for my Doom game. In the early stages of grief, I joined Twitter and got into contact with a DM group and went on a rant, among other things. I told them about my plans for how things were going to go, lore, and just everything, while keeping the best surprises for my game a secret. I am desperate for anyone to play my game. One DM, I'm going to call it Good Guy because he was a good guy, was impressed with how much I had put into Session 0 and the various mysteries the world had for the players to solve. However, Good Guy pointed out this one critical detail. I am way too green. Yes, my dears, on top of being a new GM, I was brand spanking new to Dungeons & Dragons game as a whole. Not many people would want to attend a session hosted by someone who is still learning how to play GM, let alone play a game that is so big by someone with absolutely no experience. No matter how interesting the story might be, Good Guy suggested to start small and do a couple of simple one-shot sessions, and get a feel for D&D as I could increase my experience in improv and role-playing. It's actually pretty good advice. And that's what I set out to do. Thankfully, some random encounters I've written up could be tailor-made for simple one-night game sessions. Good guy offered me to join a Discord game with him, but I politely declined. Partly because getting on camera to chat with strangers who can see my face just makes my anxiety skyrocket. But also, I want to start with something familiar in a setting that makes me feel safe. Thus, I turned to DeviantArt. Oh, what a fool I am. I should have just made a Discord account, and maybe I could have avoided all of this. You should have made a Discord account, because you could also join the Moonhorse Discord. That's not a shameless plug or anything. It totally is. There's a lot of people on DA who want to roleplay. Heck, someone keeps roleplaying underneath my Cookie Run fan art. Roleplayers are everywhere, so it shouldn't be any issue to find someone to attend my madness of a one-shot. I looked, and it was not long until I found him. I couldn't find anyone else to join, so I just started the game. For the sake of privacy, we're going to call this guy Mr. Kid, and here's why. I had planned for a quick, small session just to get the feel of our role-playing styles. I planned a casual roleplay heavy session akin to a slice of life with fantasy elements, and maybe even put a hook in the game to where it leads to a simple combat session. Too bad I never got to that. So Mr. Kid told me about his character that he's playing, well, a kid. Think about 8 to 10 years old age-wise. I already don't like where this is going. I don't remember a lot of details, like his character's race or class or anything like that, because what he did alone was so shocking to me. It just overshadowed everything else. I didn't even DM that much before this game, and just went off the rails, and he basically took over, to my abject horror. Oh boy. I set the scene in a humble little town where his character wandered in. There's a festival going on, and everyone's in a jovial mood, playing games, drinking, merrymaking. I asked Mr. Kid the age-old DM question, what do you do?
Are there any older twin sisters?
I don't like where this is going. I'm taking a while to type this because the question seemed really specific. Maybe? If you wander around town, you might find what you're looking for.
Oh, okay. I'll go wander around town.
So Mr. Kid's character wanders around town. Exciting. Taking in the merry atmosphere. Occasionally, stall owners would call out to him to buy their wares or play games. Mr. Kid ignores all of this. He's ignored everything. It's kind of clear that Mr. Kid was going to continue to ignore things I threw at him until I threw the metaphorical bone. I didn't think anything wrong with that. I mean, what's wrong with just placating this one small thing? It's not like it's horror story worthy. My dears, it was indeed horror story worthy. Oh yes, I imagine it is, because I think I know where this is going, and I'm not going to like it. So, after an hour of wandering through town, you take notice of a small gathering. In the center of the crowd, there are two girls in their late teens with identical features, dressed like circus performers. Their movements are perfectly mirrored one another as they danced and performed various tricks to entertain the crowd at hand. They beamed brightly at the crowd as they bowed, thus ending the show, and the crowd, on cue, showered them with golden coins.
I approached them.
Okay. As you approach, one of the sisters takes notice of you while the other is busy gathering up as many coins as she could. Oh, hey kid, did you miss the show? Sorry, we're going to take a break right now, but we'll be back in an hour.
I want to come with you two.
I got into character of these two random NPCs I've just come up with on the fly. Surely they'd be weirded out if some random kid asking them to come with them on their downtime. Naturally, they would want their break to themselves. Sorry, but this is my sister's and mine's downtime. I'm looking forward to relaxing my muscles. Come back for our next show, though.
But I want to be with you two.
Confused and irritated, I roleplay the other sister walking up to defend her sister by lightly pushing Mr. Kid back, channeling my irritation. I roleplay the other sister told him to buzz off and to let them be in peace. And so, the two sisters walked away to private tents to rest.
I follow them into the tent.
Okay, roll for stealth.
Oh no, I'm not sneaking in.
Okay. You follow them into the tent. They're just resting on their cushions. One is touching up on their makeup, and the other is taking out a plate of snacks for them to eat.
I closed the tent behind me and approached them again.
What the heck are you doing in here? Get out.
I sit between them, making sure their boobs are squishing my face, and start removing my pants, and
I knew where this was going. I knew it. Oh my god. Yep, it gets weirdly sexual. I won't finish the rest of this because it gets super uncomfortable, but yeah. Reminder, Mr. Kid is playing a literal child, and he's trying to initiate that with 2 older women. No, just no. What the fuck, dude? What are you doing? I've read enough RPG horror stories to know where this is going, and I shut that BS down harder than anything in history. I end the session with the sisters getting pissed and throwing the little pervert out on the street, screaming at him never to come back. Mr. Kid got pissed after that, and I got message after message with him telling me that I was role-playing wrong. That the incident was supposed to go down like that. The sister's supposed to giggle seductively and bully him, telling him what a bad boy he is, and get so excited. Telling him they'd remove the rest of his clothes. It just, yeah. He really wanted just like a weird sex thing. What a weirdo. And from there on, he lectured me on how the scene is supposed to be roleplay between him and these twin NPCs. Every single goddamn disgusting detail. So much detail that I could clearly play it in my head, and I don't even want to type the rest of it out. I appreciate that. I will say that there was a lot of emphasis on his child character being smothered between their huge, extremely soft boobies as they bullied him. Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. Pretty much plays out like a creepy child predator fanfic. That's disgusting. His final message was that he would forgive me if I roleplayed the scene properly and not skimp out on any small details during the scene. Mentally, I said fuck that and blocked him and then reported the creep. So my second time to start an epic fantasy role-playing game was a major bust and made me feel just disgusting all over. I deleted everything involving this train wreck of a roleplay game. I feel guilty by association every time I remember this. I didn't dive into my D&D notes for a while, unable to look at my notes for this game that I had in mind for a one-shot without having a gross flashback. I picked my notes back up now and planning on revisiting my original campaign after a few adjustments and some DM training. My advice before ending the story, don't let creeps take control of the story. Don't give them any leeway in general, because once they go creepy, they are never going to stop being creepy. And by doing so, they're going to ruin the game for everyone around them. Thank you all for reading, and I hope you have a good day/evening. Edit, I might post this on RPG Horror Stories. You know what? If you want to, go for it. But yeah, this dude is just like... He literally went into this with just like the idea of being a weird pervert. And that was just where every instance of this story was going to go in his mind. So don't let a fucker like that get you down. Clearly you have some really good ideas. And clearly you really want to get more of your own ideas off the ground and make more stuff. And I think you should. I think it's a good idea. I'm probably going to be dusting off certain things myself, because I have a certain specific surprise for everyone on Friday. That would be the 23rd of this month. September, that is. Because we're going to do something special, and I'm hoping everyone will like it, and it will be streamed, which is also yet another shameless plug that you should be watching my live streams. If you're not, why? They're on Twitch, but I think I'm going to try and record this one and upload it to YouTube as well, so you may be able to see that. If you enjoyed this, and I certainly hope you did, make sure you do the whole YouTube thing, mainly because, you know, YouTube hates it when small creators get any kind of attention. So do it out of spite, mostly. It's funnier. I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store if you'd like to directly support this channel, which I really hope you do because YouTube sucks. And I have, like I said, live streams. That kind of stuff. I'm streaming this right now. There's an audience right here, to my right. That's actually just a screen. They're not physically to my right. If they were all there, that would be a little weird. Yep. Anyway, you should watch that. And, have an awesome day. That's the last thing. You should just be awesome, in general, all the time. I mean, I know you are, but, like, do more awesome. Why not? Really get at it. Anyway, I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.